Hey everybody, welcome to the last Fling. I'm Chelsea Laliberte, and I am an activist and advocate for awareness of drug addiction and overdose. And I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but today is International Overdose Awareness Day. This day was dedicated to honor those who have died from overdose, people who have survived an overdose, and to give hope for those who are still struggling with addiction. In February of this year, Governor Quinn proclaimed that this day is Overdose Awareness Day in Illinois. And around the world, Australia, the UK, and Asia, people are having vigils, rallies, awareness events to talk about this problem that we have of overdose. The reason I'm up here and the reason I do this work is because of my brother, Alex. When Alex was 20 years old, he died of a heroin overdose. And my life has never been the same since. Alex was a smart, charming, sweet person. He was a three-sport athlete. He was kind. He was real. He was raised by a good family in a good home with morals. And he loved to get high. Marijuana took him on a path, unfortunately, that didn't end up very good for him. He loved to escape, which led him to trying opiates. And at the time, I don't think Alex knew that he was addicted. I don't think he knew he had a problem. We suspect that he had a little bit of depression, anger, anxiety. And, thanks. It's hard to talk about this, so thanks for your support. Most teens who get prescription drugs will get them from somebody they know. And when I say prescription drugs, I'm talking about opiates, like oxycodone, hydrocodone. I'm talking about Vicodin. I'm talking about morphine. I'm talking about fentanyl, and I am talking about heroin. I am absolutely talking about heroin. The opiates were a secret, as they usually are, a big stigmatized secret that we all don't want to talk about. It's not going discussed today, and that's a huge problem. Alex was no different from anybody here except for one thing. Unlike you guys now, he didn't think he could die from this until he took his last breath. I have a few facts I want to share with you guys. Did you know that in Illinois, more people die from drug overdoses than car accidents? We don't see much on the tollways with the signs up there that say how many people died of traffic accidents about drugs. And that number far surpasses traffic accidents, not to dumb it down or anything, because I think that's horrible. Did you also know that, according to the CDC, 100 people die every day in America from drug overdose? And that number does not include the people who survive an overdose. I don't even want to know what that number is. And did you also know that in DuPage and Will County, where we are right now, in 2012, 155 people died of overdoses. 62%, that's more than half of those deaths were heroin related, and even more than that were opiate related. This is absolutely an epidemic. There's no other way to describe it. But I want you all to know that overdose is preventable. There are things you can do in your own life, in your own home, with your own family, to prevent this issue from affecting you, only if you make the choice. One of the things we're asking people to do is to safeguard their medicine cabinets. You can go to rxsafetymatters.org. That's rxsafetymatters.org. It'll tell you a little bit about how you can do that. You can lock up your pills, keep track of them, and realize that teens are accessing these at home. No one is immune to this, and it's okay if it is your teen. There is help as well. If you guys all have a smartphone, one of the things I want you all to do is get it out and go to stopoverdoseil.org. That is stopoverdoseil.org. This is an advocate-based program, and we talk about overdose prevention strategies, how to help people not overdose, and what to do in a situation where there is an overdose. In Illinois, we have a law called the 911 Good Samaritan Law. That law was passed in June 2012. If you are in a situation where there is an overdose and you call 911 to get help for that person, you and the overdosing victim will be limited immunity from drug charges. That includes drug-induced homicide, possession. Unfortunately, it does not include drug paraphernalia. We are working on amending the law, and really this law was designed to save lives. Another program that was designed to save lives is naloxone Narcan. If you haven't heard of naloxone, you're going to hear about it over and over and over again. Naloxone is a serum that you inject intramuscularly into somebody's arm to administer to them in an overdose situation, and in 3 to 5 minutes, they come out of the overdose. I could wish that that would have been around when my brother were using. I wish he was here with us today, and I wish I wasn't here today. I like speaking to all of you, but I would rather not be here is the message. Right now, medical professionals, EMTs, they can administer naloxone, and because of the Overdose Prevention Act in Illinois, which was passed in 2010, lay people like all of you can get trained to administer naloxone and keep it in your home to revive someone from an opiate overdose. And by the way, this does only work on opiates, I want to stress that. However, you can give it when somebody is overdosed from multiple things. It takes the opiate out of the equation. StopOverdoseIL.org is the name of that website. Please go there if you can. Did you also know that drug overdose is a problem everywhere? Not just here in Naperville, it's a problem in every county in Chicagoland, it's a problem in the entire United States, it's a problem across the world. Highly addictive drugs do not discriminate. They absolutely do not discriminate. People need to understand one simple thing. Addiction is a disease. It is recognized by the government as a disease. This is not a thing that someone does from the south side of Chicago in a back alley. It's urban, it's rural, no one is immune, absolutely no one. And there is hope though, because addiction is treatable. There are facilities available here in DuPage County and across Chicago. Help is available, and over time the approach has changed to customize to the individual's need, what they need as far as treatment goes. Alex never made it to treatment because he was unaware that he was addicted and that this is a treatable disease. I really wish I could go back to take him to treatment when I had the chance. So why should you care? Why should you care? If you don't do opiates, why should you care? Well, because it affects you as a human, it affects you as a loved one, it affects you as a friend, and it affects you financially. We are all paying for this right now. It is 7 times more costly to lock somebody up and incarcerate them than it is to treat them. 7 times. But more people are incarcerated than treated. People need to get better. They do not need to be locked away from society. So what can you do? What can you do as a citizen? There's so much you can do. Starting and ending with education. First, you got to educate yourself. You got to learn. You got to talk to an addiction doctor, a treatment professional. You can go to a website like StopOverdoseIL.org. You can Google it. You Google everything else. Be your own advocate and Google everything that I have discussed here today. Overdose. Again, StopOverdoseIL.org. Also, once you've learned on your own, educate others. Spread the word. Share what you know, because you never know who you could be helping. You are making a difference in destigmatizing this issue by talking about it. And the last thing we want you to do before I pass it over to my friend Ida is I want you to honor and remember those we've lost, like my brother Alex and Karen's son, and other people who have died from overdose, Samantha's brother, and other people here who have lost loved ones to overdose. Please recognize this day and the lives lost from this disease. What you can do is you can come and find us with these purple bags. We're going to be down here at one point. You can pick up a lapel pin. I have one on me right now. And when somebody asks you what this pin is, you can tell them this is for International Overdose Awareness Day. It takes a community to make change. And it is now time. We can't wait any longer. The time is now. Let's all be advocates for this, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chelsea. The good news is this, that Naperville as a community, our Mayor, George Pradle, and the City Council have chosen to take proactive steps to prevent overdose. There are 5 programs that they are supporting right now that you should be aware of. Edward Foundation out of Linden Oaks has Signs of Suicide for those needing help in that area. There's a program by 360 Youth Services called Power of Choice to help kids realize that they are in the majority when they're making the right choice. Samaritan Interfaith is having a speaker series Robert Crown has heroin education. And Kids Matter has a new program called Parents Matter Too. That is the organization that I am associated with. And Parents Matter Too is not only an initiative, it's a community-wide effort to involve all of you as parents, as community members, our businesses, our faith communities, and our schools, so that we can better challenge our children's choices and help them choose not to use. There'll be a website where you can anonymously ask questions, you'll get answers from experts in the area, and you can get involved in conversation. We really want you to do this. Bottom line, this has impacted everyone here. Who here has not had a loved one or a friend that's been impacted by overdose? Can I see your hands? Does anybody know people in this crowd? Yes. Bottom line is, this is not just a one-day proclamation. This is an ongoing initiative and a commitment that we want you to make. Drug overdose is preventable, and we are committed as a community to make that happen, to keep our kids alive, to help them choose not to use. We want you to join us in this initiative, and Mayor Pradle is going to end our conversation with a moment of silence. Thank you.
Would you all please just join me for a moment of silence for those who have been lost, we have lost to overdose. Let's just take time to think about it. Thank you all very much.